I'm going to do this it's going to take a long time, but I logged on to do a quick video for you guys because we have our newsletter coming out. And if you're not subscribed to the newsletter, you can do that via the website, harmonicegag.com. Scroll down and it'll ask you to subscribe to the newsletter. And this newsletter this month is going to be about how we get illness and physical and emotional things that happen to us because we're missing tones in our body. We're missing tones from our voice. And so I interviewed Ani Williams. Hold on. Drop my book. I interviewed Ani Williams on my Gab with Gail, and so that video is going to be posted. She's such a lovely person. And so I think you guys will enjoy that video, but I don't think people really have thought about how we could be missing a tone from our voice, and then we could have physical things that happen to us. So you're going to want to watch that video. It's really informative. Well, then I got to thinking, I'm like, all these people use all these different modalities and they don't really know how they interact with the body. So I thought, let me do an introduction to our newsletter with this video, sharing with you guys the different modalities that I've tried and observed. And there is no one size fits all. We are all different galactic beings, different forms from different planets. That's what I believe, that we've all come here from different places to have this earth experience in this human body. And so not all the different energy modalities are going to be good for everybody. Somebody might have an amazing result with some of these that I'll list and name here. And then somebody else will say it hurt them, or it gave them insomnia, or it did something negative to them. So, there's going to be, you are going to have to discern what works for you and this body. No one knows your body better than you. Okay, so let me say that again. No one knows your body better than you, because that's what we got to get to that. The Harmonic Egg Centers try to empower you to take responsibility for your own health, but we give you the Harmonic Egg as a tool to get yourself closer to Source, to God, to your higher self, so that you can have these communications and that your body can communicate with you and you can hear because you're listening. Okay. So I'm going to start out with my experience on the Healy device. Some people love it. I don't like wearables. I don't like wearables because they produce EMF and you constantly get that EMF or that pulsing into your body. I just don't like wearables. And I know the Healy, you don't have to wear it, but I was accidentally doing an EMF test at the Louisville, Colorado Center, and we were testing the EMFs on the amplifier that's outside the egg. And on the EMF reader, we got 400 or 500. Of course, it's maybe a 6,000 watt amp. It's a large, amplifier. We don't even use half of the capacity or the capability of it to run the egg, because if you turn up the volume to over 90 decibels in the egg, then you're destroying the red blood cells. You're destroying the body. You're throwing somebody into fight or flight, and that's not the point of what we're doing. So this amp is just an integrative amp that we use. It's overkill for what we need, but it's really easy and simple to use for the center owners. There's no Wi-Fi, no Bluetooth, it's just a very simple, basic amplifier. But, we're getting, EMFs coming off of it outside of the egg in some of the centers. So then I put the EMF meter inside the egg, which has a subwoofer that's turned on underneath the chair, and I got 34, so almost zero. So somehow inside the egg, it is changing the gravitational field so that the EMFs is almost like a Faraday cage inside the egg. So brilliant. Of course, this is not my brilliance. This all came together in the visions that I had, and I'm just now finding out more and more and more of the brilliance of the download that I received and the information about it. So the Healy was sitting there, and I thought, well, let me just put the EMF meter near the Healy, and it was plugged in, charging, and I got 200-300 EMFs coming off of that, which I thought, well, this is what people are putting on their body to wear. And so I started unplug it, maybe it's plugged in, let's unplug it. And of course it didn't change the EMFs. So Fitbits and Heelys and wearables are having EMFs going into your body. Plus you have your cell phone, plus you're sitting in front of the computer, plus you're sitting in front of your TV. You're getting a lot of EMFs coming into the body. So although some people swear by this device, somebody tested it on me. I did not like the fact that they took my picture and it was stored in their phone, as well as my fingerprint was in their phone, for them to run the frequencies on me. But even though running the frequencies on me, I didn't sleep for 2 weeks. I had insomnia for 2 weeks. And that is always that's my tell that this is not the right device for me. And I did muscle check it, and it did tell me that yes, some people will benefit from it, but I would not. So it was not a big tell. I knew I wasn't going to benefit. I just didn't know it was going to give me 2 weeks of insomnia. And that's what usually happens. If I use an energy device or there's an energy modality that isn't right for me, it gives me insomnia for 2 weeks. And that takes me that long to get my body back to where I was at the perfection that I have at that moment. So that's how I know when something's not right for me. Yeah, I could go on with that for days. So the PEMF machine, the pulse electromagnetic magnetic frequency, these devices, I haven't tested a whole lot. I just know that they have a radius that they project out into, and I don't want people to misuse energy devices. So you want to keep them 30 feet away from each other. We have to tell all the center owners, you do not put energy devices within 30 feet of the egg, because then they start intermingling the frequencies, and who knows what that's changing or shifting with the intention and integrity of each of the different unique modalities. So not saying one is better than the other, just saying that you don't want to intermingle them and find out how it's changing each one. People need to respect all these different modalities, be discerning, tune into their body, and make sure that this is right for them. We need to let these modalities integrate. I see people disrespecting these modalities time and time again, and I preach about this all the time as well. 5 to 7 days after you do an egg session, please let it integrate. Don't pile up other things on top of it, because all you're doing is canceling out the greatness of the harmonic egg when you do that. And also, if you do acupuncture, if you don't let it integrate for 2 or 3 days, you're just canceling out the greatness that you may have received from that acupuncture session that you had. So you really want to let these things integrate. You don't want to pile them up and confuse your body, because that's what you're doing. And this is the analogy that I use. Are you going to eat breakfast and then immediately eat lunch and then immediately eat dinner? No, you let breakfast digest before you eat lunch. You let lunch digest before you eat dinner. You let dinner digest before you eat breakfast the next day. So let the energy modalities integrate, digest them. Let your body do the work that it has received and let it digest and integrate those. I can't stress that enough, and it is just one of my soapboxes. Okay, then we have this one modality called Fluffy, so FLFE, and this is a lot of people are signing up because they've seen this on Regina Meredith's show on Gaia TV. Regina and I have talked about this, and she does say that it's not for everyone. But if you have a low vibration and you want to increase the vibration, or your neighborhood or your household has a low vibration, then yes, it can increase your vibration. But if you're already doing the work in your own environment and you're increasing those vibrations, then oh my gosh, like you don't need it. You don't need to depend on that. So it lowered my vibration. And I have a lot of clients that were doing egg sessions. So the egg's vibration is so much higher than the Fluffy that's sending it to you. So we were all seeing, I had insomnia, so I knew that it was my trigger, that I was like, okay, this is not right for me. I think the gentlemen are lovely. Was it Clay? Yeah, I can't remember their names now. I think they're lovely, and I think they're doing a great service to the world, but it's not for everybody. Some people are going to be at a higher vibration. It's going to lower their vibration. One of my clients said as soon as he turned on Fluffy that he lost a bunch of clients because it got him switched off of the frequency and the radio station that he was playing at. And so it actually, he lost a lot of clients. So I think it was 2 or 3 clients within a few weeks of turning that on. So he turned it off. So again, be discerning. Some of these things are amazing and wonderful for some, but not all. We could talk about the Novathor bed. So I have a center owner that may be getting a harmonic egg, and she has a Novathor bed. And we've talked about it. We said, you can't use the Novathor bed the same time you're using the egg. You need to separate them. And she completely understands that. But she gets athletes coming in, and the Novathor bed is like a red light therapy bed. It's, plastic, looks like a tanning bed, really. But if it's going to help these athletes to heal their injuries faster by increasing the blood flow and using that red light, then yay, then we want to use that separately from the harmonic egg. So, you have those cryo chambers, the freeze chambers, which I don't know a lot about. I don't desire to be frozen. I'm cold all the time anyway. Not all the time, but I'm cold enough as it is. So I don't have a desire to freeze myself, and I don't really feel like that would benefit my galactic being that I am in this temple right now. That's just not for me. Okay, and then we go to like Reiki, acupuncture, massage. We look at those kind of things and we say, okay, I was training a center last week, and she said, I don't understand why you say that we can't do the egg and massage together. And I said, think of it this way. You're opened up. You have now, the egg has opened you up to receive, to release, to reset, to restore. And then you go into a massage therapist, and she had a bad day. She got in a car accident, God forbid. She had a death in the family. She got in an argument with her partner. Okay, so then all of a sudden she is putting this energy into you unintentionally, never maliciously, but thinking about, gosh, my husband did this, or my wife did that, or blah blah blah, or I wonder how this is going to happen with this accident. It was a fender bender, it wasn't bad, but my insurance. All that information, all that energy is going into you as she's working on you, because this is what she or he is thinking. Okay, so you're even more open from doing the harmonic egg session. So guess what, you're receiving that information even deeper. So no, you don't want to be integrating your egg session and receiving that information. Now, this could also be complementary. So you go to an acupuncturist, and he's having a great day, or she's having a great day, and everything they do is in neutrality and love, and that maybe would help complement your egg session. However, you don't know that. You don't know that's going to happen. So just respect it. Just wait a week and then go get the acupuncture or massage, or vice versa. You get the acupuncture or massage, wait a few days, and then you do your egg session. So it's just really, really important that you use some common sense and you be discerning. You listen to your body. You give your body that respect to integrate these different amazing modalities and amazing healers that you're seeing. But you just be really cautious, because we're all human beings. You really don't want me putting my hands on you on a daily basis and trying to heal you, because I'm constantly thinking about, how am I growing my business? How am I supporting my center owners? Oh, this is a little glitch here. This is a little glitch there. I'm always thinking, I'm always in my head, and I'm going to transfer that to somebody if I'm putting my hands on them. I will be the first one to admit that I can't be neutral. There's 3 kinds of healers. There's the ones that will meet you where you are, and they might be here or here, and it doesn't matter. One's not better than the other. So they can meet you where you are, they work on you, and then they go back to where they are when they're done. Great. I think it's a small percentage of the population that are healers that way. Second kind of healer, they bring you down to where they are, whether it's up, down, doesn't matter. In a 2-dimensional world, there's no judgment, but they bring you down to where they are. They transfer all their crap to you, and they feel great when you're done, but then you leave with anger and fear and, sadness. You have to ask yourself, is this mine? Because you may have to clear it immediately after seeing a healer. And then those are not the types of healers that we want to be working with, because they're transferring their stuff to you. Then there's the third type of healer that is up here. Amazing. If you can reach where they are up here, you can have an amazing healing, like immediately. It's brilliant. It's lovely, but they can't meet you where you are. They're brilliant and they're awesome and they're lovely. So people will either have a miraculous healing from them or they will have nothing because they just miss each other. Does that make sense? So you have that. And then we have crystals, biomats, different modalities with the crystals in them. If you do not know how to clear crystals, then I wouldn't be using those. Crystals can hold information and energy. The harmonic egg is made out of wood because wood doesn't hold information and energy in that way. So it is really important that you make sure that anybody that's using crystals or crystals with you, that they are clearing them and they're clearing them properly. You can use the full moon to clear them, but you can't do the full moon every day. You can use salt water. I'm sure there's techniques that other shamans are using to clear their crystals. I am not a crystal clearing expert, but I do know that you can pick up information and energy from the crystals that they've held on to from a previous client or even yourself. So you're using the biomat. You still want to clear that. It has the amethyst crystals in it, I believe. So you want to clear that. So there's those kind of technologies and modalities that we can use, and they're brilliant, but we want to clear that, and so they're not holding information and energy. A lot of those Oregon pyramids, I have one here, the Oregon pyramids where they have crystals in them, I made the biggest mistake and I feel terrible about it. I had to bury a lot of those Oregon pyramids that I had because they were giving off the negative karmic energies from the person that made them. Okay, so that's not good. So one of them told me I had to bury it in the earth. One of them told me to put it in the dumpster so it would go into the landfill. And the other one I kept because I put some of my horse's hair in there. I had somebody make it for me. I put some of my favorite crystals and stones in there, and now I feel like I've trapped them energetically. I've trapped them in this plastic. So I would never do that again. I've apologized to them. It's just that I did it and I didn't know what I didn't know. So that to me was that was a hard lesson to learn. So, we don't want to trap them. They're not living, breathing things, but they are, they have an energy, they have an aura. So I've trapped them in that Oregon pyramid, which I feel bad about. And then you can't get them out. They're encompassed in this plastic now. So we have those kind of modalities. You have grounding pads. So earthing.com sells some grounding pads. They are not true ground. My boyfriend had taken his ohm meter and we tested it. We were getting 50 ohms resistance on the earthing.com grounding mats. And so I started studying that. You can get a carbon fiber material that you can actually make a true grounding pad with. But these have a little 50 ohm resistor inside them so people don't hurt themselves if they plug it into the wrong hole in their, the electricity. I finally got earthing.com to admit that to me, but they were like, no, it's close enough. Well, close enough is not good enough for me. I'm kind of a perfectionist, kind of a type A personality. And you guys that know me, you know this about me. I want true ground. If I'm going to do this, I want true ground. So I have a grounding pad that we've made, that we got the grounding plug and we've made the carbon fiber material. So it has, it's true ground. It tests at 0 ohms. So true ground. You'll also want to test your home to make sure that your home is properly grounded. If you're going to use these grounding devices, you want to make sure that your home is properly grounded. So you can easily do that. There's a little plug you can put in and it'll tell you into the sockets of your house. So that's a whole nother topic. And then they have the beamer mat. So I've had a couple clients who actually it made their conditions worse because it was increasing circulation, and it actually made is Grover's disease and Parkinson's, 2 of those clients, it made them worse. I think the beamer mat is great if you have an injury, you're a sports person and you want to heal an injury. I think that the beamer mat is great. They say they use the Tesla coil and it's a grounding pad, but I feel like if you're going to use a grounding pad, again, you don't want plastic or material over it. You want it to be true ground, and I don't believe that's what you're getting with the beamer. I don't think you're getting the true ground, and we didn't test that one, but based on it having that different material over it, and you're not touching the grounding Tesla coil to your bare skin or to, just directly. I think it's going to have some resistance to ground. And then you have the Rife frequencies. So you have people using the Rife machines that aren't. Rife's frequencies were brilliant. He is a brilliant man. And I think some of his consciousness is actually in the harmonic egg. And he has come through to a couple of clients who've been in the egg and was kind of adjusting frequencies and stuff in their session, which was really super cool. And if you guys don't know the World Research Foundation, Stephen Ross, I'll be visiting with him and going to his library in Arizona in December now. And he has some of Rife's original work and notes. So I want to sit with that energy. So he's invited me to come sit with that energy, and I'm so honored. That's going to be brilliant. So really excited about that. But Rife's technology, Rife's consciousness is in the harmonic egg, but his frequencies that he used in the 1930s are not the same as the cancers that we have now, the mutations of the diseases that we've had. The planet has changed, people have changed, our vibrations have changed. So much has changed. Even the Schumann resonance has changed, and it shifts. So those frequencies aren't the accurate frequencies for all the different maladies that he had slated them to be. So if you think about it, he used a universal microscope and he tested each client individually. It wasn't like, okay, just because this client was benefited by this frequency, it works for everybody. He was actually putting your cells under a microscope, staining them, and he was testing it until the stain would clear, and then he knew that was the proper frequency for you. And people aren't using his device that way anymore. So I feel like the Rife machines could be harmful, they could be helpful, but it's a crapshoot. You know, you'll get what you get, or you won't get anything, or it'll be harmful. So again, super discerning. We have to be so discerning. We're in the decade or the times of energy healing, and everything is energy. So we have to be so careful with our energy and protect our energy so carefully, because it can be harmful. So when you listen to Ani Williams and the Gab with Gail, that you'll find in the newsletter and on our YouTube channel. So Harmonic Egg YouTube channel, you can go and subscribe and see all of the interviews that I've done and different videos that I've done. You can also go to the harmonicegg.com blog page, and we have all that there too. But you're gonna hear how cool it is that you could be missing a tone from your voice, and just by replenishing that tone with listening to different music, going into the egg and listening to those tones, doing different things, by replenishing that, you can get rid of something, an emotion or a physical illness. So I had a lady come in and I was testing her voice with the tones, and the tone of E was missing, and it was allergies, asthma, bronchitis. She had all that going on, and it's in the color of yellow. You could be missing the color yellow as well. So it's also the zodiac sign of Leo, because Ani Williams has taken Sherry Edwards' work in this field to another level by looking at your birth chart. So you're going to hear this in the video. You got to watch the video. It's great. So it was funny. I said, so what zodiac sign are you? And she said Leo, and I blow your mind that how accurate this is, that you could be missing this tone, and then all of a sudden these physical things happen to you because of that brilliant, brilliant work. So I know I've been super negative on some of the energy devices, and I'm not. You guys don't take this as negative. Take it as educational. Be careful. Be careful with your body. And then I'm going to talk about some things that I don't think can hurt you. So, and somebody may come and correct me that maybe you can be hurt by singing bowls, the crystal bowls, Himalayan bowls, Tibetan bowls, however people call them. The tuning forks. Sorry, I lost my train of thought about what to call those things. Tuning forks. I just don't see how they can be harmful. So maybe there's a way you can hurt yourself with them, but you know what? There's somebody out there, if they can hurt themselves with something, they will, So sometimes you just can't fix that. But I just don't see how the bowls, I think they're self-cleaning energetically. I think the tuning forks are self-cleaning energetically. I think a lot of times if somebody creates a device, you're picking up some of their energies. You're picking up some of theirs personality, some of their maybe maladies in their devices that's, coming through. And so I felt like creating the harmonic egg with the sacred geometry, the way that we distribute or infuse the body with the sound and the light is coming through the sacred geometric egg and the wood that doesn't hold information and energy. So, it is my hope that the egg will never hurt anybody. And of course, if you turn it up too loud and blast, you blast yourself in there, obviously you're going to put yourself into fight or flight. So I just want everybody to be careful about all these things that they're putting into their body, they're putting on their body, they're putting in their body. We could have a whole talk about supplements. I mean, I will probably do a video about a book I'm reading right now called Prime, and it's some mind-blowing things in that book as well. And I'm constantly researching, I'm constantly creating. I want to create some music that will replenish your minerals with just sound and light, not having to ingest something that might have a different energy that doesn't work well with your body. So these are the things that I geek out on. I love. It's so fun for me to do. So the other modality or energy device is the Spectra Hue pen lights. They're in the living room. They look like little flashlights, but you can put different colored filters on them, and I doubt that that's ever going to hurt anybody. You intuit what color you need, and then you flash it, where you want. Obviously, you're not going to put it in your eyeball. You could probably make yourself blind that way, but that's not the way they're intended to be used. But I think those modalities aren't putting any of the inventor's energy out there. The singing bowls, the tuning forks, these pen lights. So you have all that stuff. Let me see. I think I covered everything that I wanted to cover in that. So if you guys have any questions, you will be able to ask those questions on the comment section. This will be a YouTube video, or you can email us. We're always available. Tracy is my executive assistant. She's wonderful. She's taken a huge load off of me because I need more time to create and research so that I can educate. And I learn from you guys all the time. I love everyone I come in contact with because I always learn something new and be like, oh, I didn't think about it that way. And I love that. So it helps me to help you when I can really hone in my thinking, and you guys are all teaching me that all the time. So thank you so much. Love you all. Have a great day. It's Sunday. I'm trying to take the day off, so hopefully I can go see Holly, my horse, and chill. All right. Bye. For those of you that have not heard this, Edgar Cayce's consciousness had a pretty big influence in creating the harmonic egg for me as well. I read a lot of his books, the writings about him, I should say, because he didn't write anything himself. He had, people write for him. But this piece, and I think he just calls it in a little, I don't know what he calls it. What does he call it? Something, just a little manuscript. I know he says it right here in the beginning. But this auras. This was written in 1945 and is the last thing that he had edited before he passed away. And he passed away January of 1945. So I want to read this to you. 500 years before the birth of Christ, Pythagoras, the first philosopher, used colors for healing. Today, medical science is just beginning to see the possibilities in this method. Of course, this is 1945. If colors are vibrations of spiritual forces, they should be able to help in healing our deepest and most subtle maladies. Together with music, which is a kindred spiritual force, they form a great hope for therapy of the future. How about that? Page 15. It's just a small little thing, and I think it's out of print, but I got one a long time ago, so enjoy.